Chapter 1. Rebirth on a Cold Night. A decision before the full moon crib. Mia woke to the cold, not the chill of a thin blanket in late New England autumn, but the musty, bone-deep cold. She opened her eyes and saw the broken window pane of the nursing home, its glass cracked with spiderwebs. A chilly wind blew dead maple leaves through the cracks, landing on the backs of her bony hands. A caregiver pushed a cart by, its rubber wheels rustling across the floor like a dull knife cutting flesh. She instinctively clenched her blanket, only to feel grains of salt caked on the fabric-dried tears from the previous night's freezing. Bed 702, it's time for your blood pressure medication. The caregiver's voice scraped like rusty iron, and the medicine cup in her hand slammed against the bedside table. Don't wait. Your son, Tyler, called last week and said his fiancée is renovating their apartment in Berkeley and is busy picking out granite countertops. She won't be able to come. Fiancée granite countertops. Mia's heart felt like it had been stabbed by an ice pick. She recalled Tyler picking her up in his used Ford on her 70th birthday, saying, "Mom, your knees aren't working for you. I found you a community with a caregiver. It's less of a hassle." She'd imagined it would be one of those retirement communities on TV, with lawns and afternoon teas. Instead, it turned out to be this shabby place, where they couldn't even afford to turn on the central air conditioning, and the monthly rent deducted her remaining Social Security contributions. Her lifelong retirement savings had been coaxed out of Tyler to pay for his community college tuition. Even the insurance policy Noah had left behind had been taken by him, ultimately used to buy a diamond ring for his fiancée. Mia's consciousness blurred as she saw her younger self. Tyler stole candy from the supermarket, and she apologized with money, even offering him the excuse. The kid was just curious. Tyler failed a college course, and she drove 3 hours to campus overnight, begging the professor for extra credit. Tyler was getting married, and she sold the small house she'd lived in for 20 years to save up for the down payment on his apartment. She'd spent her entire life covering up for Tyler, yet in the end, she ended up waiting to die in a cold room. "I'm so stupid." Mia's tears froze in the corners of her eyes, and her vision gradually darkened. "Mia, what are you doing?" Daydreaming while holding Tyler. A familiar voice brought Mia back to consciousness. She snapped her eyes open, squinting in the warm yellow light. The faint scent of baby milk lingered on her nose, not the musty smell of a nursing home, but the scent of laundry detergent she'd loved in her youth. She looked down and saw a soft baby in her arms, wrapped in a light blue swaddling cloth, its little mouth smacking unconsciously. Standing before her was Noah, a 30-something, his hair still untouched by the frost, his eyes bright, and he helplessly held up a bottle of formula. "I told you to put him in the crib and give him some more milk. Why are you distracted again? The doctor said you just gave birth and need to rest." "Tyler, crib?" Mia's mind felt like it had been struck by thunder. Trembling, she raised her hands. They were smooth, delicate hands, without age spots or frostbite. A hint of baking flour still clung to her fingernails from the cookies she'd baked for Noah the day before. These were her hands at 32. She looked around. This was the bedroom in the small suburban apartment she and Noah rented. Their wedding photos, taken in Yellowstone, hung on the wall. On the bedside tables at their newly bought Graco baby bassinet, tucked inside with a few onesies with teddy bear prints. "What year is it now?" Mia's voice trembled with disbelief. Noah ruffled her hair with a laugh and pointed to the calendar on the nightstand. Are your hormones still kicking off? 2013. Tyler was a month old last week, and we even went to church for his baptism. Did you forget? 2013. Tyler was just a month old. Mia's tears welled up. She was truly back. Back to when she hadn't spoiled Tyler. Back to when she hadn't given up everything for this son. Tyler burst into tears in her arms, his cheeks flushed crimson, his hands waving. In her previous life, whenever Tyler cried, Mia would immediately scoop him up in her arms, rocking him all night long. Even when her eyes burned from sleep, she couldn't bear to wake Noah. But it was this unbridled indulgence that later nurtured the giant baby who constantly claimed, "A mother's sacrifices are her due. Put him in the bassinet." Mia took a deep breath. Her voice, though still slightly trembling, carried a newfound resolve. She carefully lifted Tyler, walked over to the nearby bassinet, and gently placed him in it, laying him on his side, as the doctor had instructed, to prevent choking. Noah looked at her in surprise. "Why are you so obedient today? The other day, I told you not to hold him so often, and you said, that's how all American mothers raise their kids, and we had a fight." In her previous life, she certainly thought so. Back then, she frequently read the American Encyclopedia of Parenting, but she only remembered the spend more time with him, forgetting the foster independence component. Mia turned and looked at Noah, her eyes still red, but she smiled. "I was wrong before, and you're right. We can't hold babies all the time. We need rest, too. Look, I didn't even get around to baking your favorite blueberry muffins." Noah was stunned for a moment, then realized what was happening. He walked over and gently hugged Mia, resting his chin on the top of her head. "Muffins can be baked anytime. Your well-being is what's most important. I'm not being cruel. I just don't want you to be too tired. Have you forgotten you had a heavy hemorrhage when Tyler was born, and the doctor told you to take good care of him?" Mia leaned into Noah's arms, feeling a mixture of warmth and guilt. In her past life, because she'd overly doted on Tyler, Noah had advised her many times, but she always felt he didn't understand maternal love. She even went so far as to give Noah the silent treatment for 2 weeks when Tyler was 10, because he told her to clean his room. Now, thinking about it, Noah was right. In this life, she not only had to change her attitude toward Tyler, but also make amends with Noah. They'd agreed to go to Alaska to see the Northern Lights, but in their previous life, it was put on hold forever because Tyler had said, "I'm afraid of the dark." Tyler's cries in his crib were still growing louder and louder. Although Mia still felt a little distressed, she resisted the urge to pick him up. She dragged Noah into the living room, poured herself a glass of warm water, and made him his favorite instant coffee, 2 spoons of sugar and 1 spoon of milk, the same flavor he'd had since high school. "We haven't had a good chat in ages, and since Tyler's in his crib today, we can plan a movie for next weekend." Noah took the coffee, his eyes lighting up. "We can go to the IMAX theater downtown and have pasta at that Italian restaurant you love." "Sure," Mia agreed immediately. In her previous life, after she left her confinement, she spent all her time caring for Tyler. She didn't even have time to spend alone with Noah, let alone go to the movies. When Tyler was 3, Noah wanted to take her to the company Christmas party, but she stayed home to read him a bedtime story because Tyler couldn't leave his mom at night. In this life, she wanted to reclaim the time that belonged to her and Noah. The two of them sat on the couch, sipping coffee and chatting, discussing their future lives. Mia said she wanted to pick up her old hobby again and take a baking class at the community college. Noah said he wanted to find a job closer to home, so he wouldn't have to drive 2 hours into the city every day. Tyler cried in his bassinet for a while. Then, seeing no one was paying attention, he gradually stopped, smacking his lips, and drifted off to sleep. Mia looked at Tyler, who lay peacefully in his bassinet, and vowed to herself, in this life, she would never dote on him again, never cover for him again, as she had in her previous life. She wanted Tyler to learn to take responsibility for his own actions, to make him understand that his parents were not his ATM machines or his full-time babysitters. Only in this way could he truly grow up, and she and Noah could have their own happy lives. For example, first seeing the Aurora that was 10 years late. Chapter 2, Broken Glass, 10 years old. First time to take responsibility. Time flew by, and in the blink of an eye, 10 years had passed. Tyler had grown into a 10-year-old boy in 4th grade. During these 10 years, Mia had always adhered to her principles: not coddling, not taking care of everything for him, and allowing Tyler to learn to take responsibility for his own actions. In the past, Tyler needed Mia to help him get dressed in the mornings, Noah to pack his school bag, and even Mia to make and hand him his cereal for breakfast. Instead of coddling him like she had in her previous life, Mia placed his clothes and school bag by his bed when he was 6 years old and said, "Tyler, you're an elementary school student now. You have to do your own things. If you're not dressed tomorrow morning, we won't wait for you, and you'll be late." The next day, Tyler was late because he couldn't find his socks, and the teacher made him stand for 10 minutes as punishment. From then on, he no longer needed Mia's help with packing. That afternoon, Mia was in the kitchen preparing turkey stuffing for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was in 2 weeks, and she and Noah were planning to invite Noah's sister and her family over for dinner. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Through the door mirror, she saw her neighbor, Mrs. Carter, standing at the door, holding a piece of broken glass and looking grim. Mia opened the door and greeted with a smile, "Mrs. Carter, how come you have time to come today?" Mia raised the broken glass in her hand and pointed to her own French window. "Mia, I'm sorry to bother you while you're preparing for Thanksgiving, but Tyler was playing baseball with some boys in the yard and accidentally broke my window." Mia looked in the direction Mrs. Carter pointed and saw a large hole in Mrs. Carter's French window, with shards of glass scattered across the lawn. Her heart skipped a beat. The same thing had happened to her in a past life. At that moment, she immediately pulled out her wallet and gave Mrs. Carter $200, even making excuses for Tyler, saying, "Boys are just playful. It wasn't intentional." Yet, because of her indulgence, Tyler later punctured a classmate's bicycle tire in middle school and confidently declared, "My mom will pay for it." "Mrs. Carter, I'm so sorry for the trouble you've caused you," Mia said sincerely, stepping aside to let her in. "Please sit down. I'll call Tyler over. He'll apologize to you personally and pay for the damages himself." Mrs. Carter raised an eyebrow in surprise. She'd assumed Mia would handle the situation herself, like any other mother, but she hadn't expected her child to apologize. She paused for a moment, then smiled and nodded. "Okay, I'll see if Tyler is a man who's up to his job." Mia walked into the living room and saw Tyler sprawled on the carpet playing a video game. Minecraft was playing furiously on the screen, a playful smile on his face. Clearly, he hadn't realized the mess he'd made. "Tyler, turn off the game and come over here." Mia's tone was calm, yet tinged with seriousness. Tyler reluctantly hit the pause button and walked over to Mia with a pout. "Mom, what's wrong?" "I'm playing the crucial part." "Did you break Mrs. Carter's French window while playing baseball in the yard?" Mia asked earnestly, looking Tyler in the eye. Tyler's expression changed instantly. He lowered his head, scraped his toes on the carpet, and whispered, I broke it by accident." Accidental isn't an excuse. Mia crouched down and looked Tyler in the eye, a lesson she'd learned from parenting vloggers: maintaining eye level when communicating with children. "What should you do if you break someone else's things?" Tyler looked up, a hint of anticipation in his eyes. "Mom, can you give Mrs. Carter money to fix the window? That's what you did last time I stained Tommy's comic book." Mia's heart sank. Sure enough, Tyler was used to her covering the brunt of the damage. She shook her head and said firmly, "No, Tyler. This is your fault. You should apologize and pay the compensation yourself." "Myself?" Tyler's eyes widened in surprise. "But I don't have any money. I spent all my allowance on game cards." "Then use your remaining allowance to pay," Mia said. "You get $20 a month. I asked the glass shop, and replacing a floor-to-ceiling window will cost $80. With the rest of the money, you can go to Mrs. Carter's house and help with chores. You can compensate her with labor like walking her dog or mowing the lawn. She told me she wanted a helper." "I don't want to." Tyler burst into tears falling like beads from a broken string. "Walking the dog gets dog hair on my clothes, and mowing the lawn gives me a tan. Mom, can you just help me this once? I'm never going to play baseball again." Mia felt a pang of pain watching Tyler cry. He had been afraid of dogs and tans since he was a child. But she knew she couldn't compromise. If she helped Tyler this time, he'd make the same mistake again and never learn to take responsibility. "Tyler, you're 10 years old, a little man." Mia's voice was gentle, but her tone firm. "If you don't apologize today and don't make amends, I'm going to confiscate your game controller until you do. And don't even think about helping roast the Thanksgiving turkey. I was going to let you butter it." Thanksgiving turkey was what Tyler looked forward to most every Thanksgiving. He would butter it himself and stuff it with apples and onions. Tyler's sobs subsided. He wiped his tears and said reluctantly, "Okay, I'll apologize and I'll help Mrs. Carter with the chores." Mia nodded contentedly, took Tyler's hand, and walked over to Mrs. Carter. Tyler lowered his head, his hands tightly clutching the corners of his shirt as he whispered, "Mrs. Carter, I'm sorry. I accidentally broke your window. I'll use my allowance to pay for it, and with the rest, I'll come walk your dog and mow the lawn to make up for it." Mrs. Carter smiled at Tyler's sincerity. She walked over and gently touched Tyler's head. "It's okay, Tyler. It's okay as long as you know you're wrong. My dog is very gentle and won't bite. I have an electric lawn mower for mowing the lawn, so it won't get tiring. Oh, and if you do a good job, I'll bake you chocolate chip cookies as a reward." After returning from Mrs. Carter's house, Tyler began using his allowance to pay for the glass. Every day after school, he would go to Mrs. Carter's house to help walking the dog on Mondays and Wednesdays, mowing the lawn on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and helping Mrs. Carter tidy the garage on Fridays. At first, he felt aggrieved. Every time he came back from walking the dog, he would complain, Max the dog's name sheds too much hair, and he would hide in the shade of a tree while mowing the lawn. But gradually, he discovered that helping out around the house wasn't such a bad thing. Mrs. Carter would tell him stories about her youth as a nurse in New York City and bake his favorite chocolate chip cookies much better than the ones sold in supermarkets. And when he paid back the last $10 with his own labor, Mrs. Carter rewarded him with a copy of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. He felt an indescribable sense of accomplishment as he carried the book home. One day, Tyler returned from Mrs. Carter's house, a still warm chocolate chip cookie in hand. He ran over to Mia, who was kneading dough in the kitchen, and said with a smile, "Mom, this is a cookie Mrs. Carter gave me. Try it. It's even better than the ones you bake." Today, when I was helping her clean the garage, I found her old nurse's badge. She even taught me how to care for patients. Mia took the cookie and took a bite. It was sweet but not cloying, with a rich chocolate aroma. She patted Tyler's head and smiled. "It's delicious. Mom knew you could do it. Don't you think it's more satisfying to solve problems on your own than to ask others for help?" Tyler nodded and said seriously, "Yes. I won't get into trouble again. If I make a mistake, I'll take responsibility. By the way, Mom, can I help you butter the turkey for Thanksgiving?" Mia couldn't help but laugh and ruffled his hair. "Of course, my little man." She knew this was just the first step in Tyler's growth, and there would be many challenges ahead. But as long as he persevered and learned to take responsibility for his actions, he would become a sensible and responsible child. And she and Noah would be able to live a truly happy life in this life. For example, going to Alaska to see the aurora borealis, which was 10 years late. Chapter 3, Asking in Adolescence. Learning to say no for the first time. Tyler grew up and entered puberty. At 15, he had grown to 5 feet 4 inches tall and began to pay attention to his appearance. He adorned his school bag with basketball star charms, insisted on wearing the latest Jordans, and constantly urged Mia to buy him all sorts of designer goods. One weekend, Tyler returned from playing basketball. As soon as he entered the house, he tossed his backpack onto the sofa, his hair dripping with sweat. He ran over to Mia, who was preparing a sandwich in the kitchen, tugged on her shirt, and said, "Mom, my classmates all have the latest Air Jordan 11s. Can you buy me one too?" Mia was slicing tomatoes when she heard Tyler's words. She looked up at Tyler. His Nike tracksuit was only a month old, and his Air Max shoes, just the previous month, were still pristine and in no need of replacement. "How much are those Air Jordan 11s?" Mia asked, placing the sliced tomatoes on a plate. "Only about $200, Tyler said casually, as if $200 was a small sum. He'd forgotten that Mia's monthly allowance from volunteering at the community library was only $300. Mia frowned. While $200 wasn't a huge sum for their family, it wasn't something they could spend frivolously either. Noah worked at a car repair shop. His salary wasn't high, and he had to maintain his car and pay rent, so he couldn't save much each month. Besides, Tyler's current shoes were still usable and didn't need to be replaced. "Tyler, your current Air Maxes are still in great shape. Why do you need new ones?" Mia asked, puzzled. "But those aren't the latest model," Tyler said a little impatiently. "My classmate Jake wore a pair yesterday. They were white and so cool. They all said my shoes were old-fashioned and not trendy at all." Mia felt a little irritated by the vanity on Tyler's face. She recalled a past life in which Tyler was the same, always chasing after brand name items. Regardless of their family's financial situation, as long as he wanted something, she would find a way to satisfy him. During his sophomore year of high school, he insisted on buying the latest iPhone, and she had to work 2 jobs, falling asleep every day exhausted, to scrape together the money. But when Tyler got the phone, he didn't even say thank you, and instead complained that she bought the 16 gigabytes model instead of the 64 gigabytes one. "No, I can't buy you these Air Jordan 11s, Mia said firmly. "Your current shoes are still wearable, and there's no point in pursuing designer brands. What matters is comfort, not the latest model." Jake's family owns a restaurant, and their financial situation isn't the same as ours. "We can't compete with him." "Mom," Tyler raised his voice, his face flushing. "Why are you so stingy? It's just a pair of shoes. What's wrong with buying them for me? Do you not love me anymore?" "It's not that I'm stingy, it's that you don't need these shoes." Mia put down the kitchen knife, turned around, and looked at Tyler seriously. His eyes were filled with grievance and anger, exactly like the one in his past life when he got angry at her because he didn't get an iPhone. "If you really want these shoes, you can earn money to buy them yourself. There are many part-time jobs in the community, like delivering newspapers to neighbors or stocking shelves at the supermarket. You could try." "I saw a job posting at the supermarket yesterday. Weekend part-time jobs pay $12 an hour. If you work 10 a week. If I work for just a few hours, I can save enough in 2 months. I'm not going to do that backbreaking job." Tyler pouted, his face grudging. Delivering newspapers requires waking up early, stocking shelves gets your clothes dirty, and the money isn't much. "How can I possibly save $200? Making money isn't easy," Mia said earnestly. "Do you think your dad and I got our money from the wind? Your dad works at the repair shop every day, his hands greasy, and he sometimes works until 10 p.m. I organize books at the library, and I can barely stand up straight at the end of the day. We work so hard, not so you can pursue luxury goods, but so we can make a better life for our family. You're 15 now. You should learn to be considerate of your parents instead of constantly demanding things from us." Tyler, instead of reflecting on his actions, became even angrier after hearing Mia's words. He violently shook Mia's hand away and shouted, "I don't care. If you don't buy it for me, I'll find a way myself." Then he stormed into his room, slamming the door and locking it. Mia looked at Tyler's back and shook her head helplessly. She knew that adolescents often have rebellious tendencies, especially in an American society that values individuality. Changing his mind wouldn't be easy, but she wouldn't compromise like she had in her previous life. She wanted to make Tyler understand that if he wanted something, he had to work hard to get it. This was the core American value of individual struggle. She couldn't let Tyler become a parasite who only depended on his parents. That evening, Noah came home from get off work, still smelling of gasoline. Mia told him what had happened that day, including how Tyler had locked himself in his room and refused to come out. Noah frowned, took off his oil-stained work clothes, and sighed. "This kid is getting more and more immature. It's okay to chase brand names, but he's unwilling to work hard on his own and always relies on us. When I was his age, I was already working at a gas station to earn pocket money. Yeah, so I want him to get a part-time job so he can buy the shoes himself," Mia said. "I've heard that the local newspaper is hiring delivery boys. They deliver papers from 5:30 to 7:30 every morning and earn around $180 a month. If he's willing to do it, combined with his monthly allowance, he should be able to save enough for shoes in 2 months. Noah nodded, pulled a beer from the refrigerator, opened it, and took a sip. That's a good idea. Let him try it. Let him know how hard it is to make money, and he won't be so willful. By the way, I heard at the repair shop today that there's an auto repair show in Texas next month. I'd like to go and take you to the national park there for a few days. We haven't traveled in a while. Mia's eyes lit up. In a previous life, Noah had had a similar opportunity, but she had let him go because Tyler said, "No one makes breakfast for me." In this life, she would never sacrifice her life and Noah's for Tyler again. She smiled and nodded, "Sure. We can book a hotel in advance and check out the cowboy festival over there. I've never seen a real cowboy." The next morning, Mia told Tyler about the community's job posting for newspaper deliverymen. Initially, Tyler was reluctant, saying, "I can't get up in the morning and my classmates will laugh at me." But after some persuasion from Mia and Noah said, "If you can earn enough money to buy shoes, I'll take you to an NBA game." He finally agreed. Delivering newspapers is indeed grueling. Every morning, before dawn, Tyler would wake up at 5:30, ride his bike to the newspaper office, pick up the papers, and then deliver them door to door. Sometimes it rained, and the newspaper would get soaked, forcing him to replace it. Sometimes, he encountered grumpy neighbors, who would get angry at him for a late newspaper delivery. Once, he accidentally dropped his newspaper in a mud puddle, forcing him to go home and buy a new one with his own allowance. He returned home that day with red eyes. Mia saw it, and it hurt her heart. She wanted to give up several times and just buy Tyler shoes. But Noah held her back, saying, "This is a necessary part of his growth. We can't help him." Mia forced herself to prepare hot milk and sandwiches for Tyler every morning, and wait for him to come home in the evening to get him a hot foot bath. 2 months later, Tyler finally saved up to $100. He happily went to the mall and bought the latest pair of Air Jordan 11s. When he returned home wearing his new shoes, his face beamed with pride, and he even walked around in front of Mia and Noah several times. "Mom, look. These are shoes I bought with my own money," Tyler excitedly said to Mia. "Jake saw it and asked me where I made it. I told him I made it from delivering newspapers." He was stunned. Mia looked at the smile on Tyler's face and said gratifiedly, "Not bad. You got what you wanted through your own hard work. Isn't it a sense of accomplishment?" Tyler nodded and said seriously, "Yeah. I always thought making money was easy, but it wasn't until I started working part-time that I realized how hard Mom and Dad work every day. From now on, I'll never ask you for anything again. If I want something, I'll work hard to earn it myself. By the way, Dad, do you still count on the NBA game you mentioned?" Noah smiled and patted his shoulder. "Of course. When I get back from Texas next month, we'll go buy tickets." Since then, Tyler has indeed changed a lot. He no longer chases brand names like he used to, and he no longer asks Mia and Noah for things. Sometimes, he'd use the money from his part-time job to buy Mia her favorite lilies and Noah his favorite beer. Mia knew Tyler was growing up, learning to understand his parents and take responsibility for his own life. And she and Noah could finally plan their trip to Texas, their first truly personal trip in a decade. Chapter 4. The crisis of college. The awakening after mortgage delinquency. Tyler successfully enrolled at a prestigious state university, majoring in computer science, a major he had chosen because he had loved playing computer games since childhood and dreamed of developing his own games. On the day he left for college, Mia and Noah drove him there. Before leaving, Mia handed Tyler a bank card and told him, $1,500 will be deposited into this every month, covering your rent, food, and pocket money. Be frugal, and let us know if anything matters. Tyler took the card and impatiently tucked it into his wallet. I know, Mom. I'm old enough to take care of myself. You guys should go home quickly. I have to go shopping with my roommates. Mia watched Tyler walk away, feeling a little disappointed, but also more relieved he had finally grown up and was about to begin his college life. Noah held her hand and smiled, saying, Don't worry, he'll take care of himself. We're still going on a trip to California, aren't we? Let's go now, don't miss the trip. Mia nodded with a smile. She and Noah had long planned to visit California after dropping Tyler off, to see the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco and explore Hollywood in Los Angeles, a trip to commemorate their 15th wedding anniversary. A trip they had never made in their previous life because of Tyler's various accidents. For the first few months, Tyler attended classes regularly and studied diligently. He would occasionally call Mia and Noah to update them on school, with comments like, I learned something new in programming class today, or my roommate made delicious pasta. Mia and Noah were delighted, feeling that Tyler had truly grown up and was capable of living independently. But before long, Tyler became drawn to the vibrant life of college. He began skipping classes to play games and going to bars with his roommates, sometimes even staying out all night. His living expenses were quickly spent, almost gone by the end of the month. He frequently called Mia, saying things like, Mom, I don't have enough for rent this month. Please give me another $200. Or my laptop broke and I need a new one. Please give me $1,000. Mia noticed Tyler's change and called him repeatedly to remind him to study hard and not spend money recklessly. But Tyler always brushed them off, saying, Don't worry, Mom, I know what's going on. This is just normal college life, you don't understand. One day, Mia was at home sorting through travel photos. She and Noah had a blast in California and had taken tons of photos for an album. Suddenly, a strange call came in. It was from Tyler's school area code. Mia's heart skipped a beat, and she had a bad feeling. She picked up the phone, and a gentle male voice came from the other end. Hello, is this Tyler's mother, Ms. Mia? I'm his counselor, David Smith. I'm sorry to bother you, but Tyler's not doing well this semester, and I need to speak with you. Mia's heartbeat quickened. She calmed herself down and asked, Mr. Smith, what's wrong with Tyler? Tyler has been skipping classes too many times this semester. He's failed computer basics, advanced math, and English writing, Mr. Smith said sternly. According to school regulations, if he doesn't make up these classes before the final exam, he could be expelled. I hope you can come to campus so we can discuss how to resolve this issue. Mia felt like a hammer had struck her heart. The same thing had happened in a past life. Back then, she immediately dropped her work, bought the earliest flight available to Tyler's school, and tearfully begged Mr. Smith to give Tyler another chance. She even promised the school on Tyler's behalf that he would study hard in the future. But Tyler didn't change. Instead, he assumed his mother would always be his backup, leading him to skip classes and play even more recklessly. He was eventually punished for cheating and nearly expelled. "Okay, Mr. Smith, I'll make time to go to school as soon as possible," Mia said calmly, but she had already made up her mind this time. She wouldn't help Tyler like she had in her previous life. After hanging up the phone, Mia told Noah what had happened. Noah was in the garage repairing his old motorcycle when he heard the news and dropped his wrench to the floor with a clang. He frowned, his tone filled with disappointment. "This kid is such a jerk. We work so hard to send him to college, but he doesn't study hard and just plays all day. If I had known this would happen, I shouldn't have sent him to state university. I should have sent him to community college for 2 years to get some training. Yeah, so this time I can't help him like I did before," Mia said firmly. "He's an adult now and should be responsible for his own actions. If he keeps this up, even if he gets expelled, it's his own choice. We can't indulge him anymore." Noah nodded, picked up the wrench from the ground, and sighed. "You're right. We can't indulge him anymore. Let him face this on his own. I have to work at the repair shop tomorrow, so I won't be accompanying you. Be careful on your way." Mia nodded. She packed her simple luggage, bought a plane ticket for the next day, and went to Tyler's school alone. In the counselor's office, Tyler lowered his head, his hair disheveled, his eyes bloodshot, and he looked like he hadn't had a good rest in a while. Mr. Smith sat across from them. Looking at them sternly, "Ms. Mia, you're here." Mr. Smith stood up and shook Mia's hand. "Please take a seat. I've already explained Tyler's situation to you. What are your thoughts?" Mia glanced at Tyler, then said to Mr. Smith, "Mr. Smith, I know Tyler made a mistake. However, he's 19 years old, an adult, and he should be responsible for his actions. I won't plead for him like I did before, nor will I make any promises to the school. This is his own choice, and he should bear the consequences." Smith looked at Mia in surprise. He hadn't expected her to say that. In previous situations like this, most parents would make excuses for their children or ask the school for leniency. This was the first time he had encountered such a heartless parent. Tyler also looked up, staring at Mia in disbelief. "Mom, how could you say that? Please help me," begged Smith. "I don't want to be expelled. If I get expelled, my classmates will laugh at me." "I won't help you," Mia said firmly, her eyes unwavering. "You chose to skip classes and fail, and now you have to bear the consequences. If you want to stay in school, you have to work hard to make up for the classes you failed and never skip classes again. School isn't a playground, a place where you can play all you want and skip classes all you want." "But what should I do now?" Tyler was almost in tears, his voice filled with panic. "It's hard to make up for failed classes, and I've already spent all my living expenses this month. I can't even afford to eat. Mom, please send me some more money. I promise I'll study hard." "I won't give you any more living expenses," Mia said. "There are many part-time jobs on campus, like organizing books in the library, serving in the cafeteria, and doing security on campus. You can try." "I asked Smith yesterday. Sir, the school cafeteria is hiring part-time workers. The salary is $15 an hour with 3 meals included. If you work for hours a day, you can earn $1,800 a month, more than enough to cover your living expenses and rent. As for the courses you failed, the school offers remedial classes. You can sign up or ask a good classmate to help you. As long as you work hard, you'll definitely make up for it. Tyler looked at Mia's determined eyes and knew his mother wouldn't help him this time. He was filled with fear and regret, afraid he would actually be expelled from school. He regretted not studying hard and wasting his time on games and drinking. He lowered his head, tears streaming down his face, dripping onto his pants, leaving a small wet spot. After leaving the counselor's office, Tyler followed Mia to the school gate. Mia felt a pang of pain at Tyler's haggard appearance, but she steeled her heart and spoke earnestly. "Tyler, it's not that I don't love you. It's that I want you to truly grow up." In America, 18 is considered an adult and responsible for your own life. If you continue to rely on me and your father, you'll never learn to be independent. This may be a crisis for you, but it's also an opportunity. I believe that as long as you work hard, you can overcome it and become a better person. With that, Mia turned and walked towards the taxi. She didn't look back, fearing that if she did, she would be tempted to compromise. Tyler stood there, watching his mother disappear into the crowd, tears finally streaming. He knew his mother was right. He could no longer rely on his parents. He had to work hard on his own to change his current situation. In the days that followed, Tyler began a new life. He found a part-time job in the school cafeteria, helping with lunch and evening work, serving food and clearing tables. Although it was tiring, he got 3 free meals and earned enough to live on. He also signed up for tutoring classes at school. He woke up at 6 every morning to review his lessons in the library, asking teachers or classmates if he came across questions. Evening after work, he would stay in the library until closing time. Returning to his dorm, he'd fall asleep, too tired to even play games. At first, Tyler found it incredibly arduous and felt like giving up several times. But thinking of his mother's look as she left, and the disappointment he'd cause her if expelled, he persevered. Seeing his dedication, his roommates stopped dragging him to bars and instead joined him in the library, sometimes even helping him with math. By the final exam, Tyler had passed all the courses he'd failed and received strong grades in all his other classes. Mr. Smith, the counselor, called Mia specifically, his tone filled with surprise and admiration. "Ms. Mia, Tyler has changed so much this semester. Not only has he been attending classes regularly, but his grades have also improved significantly." The restaurant manager even praised him for his dedication and commitment. "Your parenting methods are truly effective. I admire them so much." Mia was delighted to hear this. She knew Tyler had finally begun to wake up and learn to take responsibility for his actions. She and Noah could finally let Tyler face life's challenges on his own. After hanging up the phone, Mia walked to the window and looked at Noah mowing the lawn in the yard. A relieved smile crossed her face. She knew that their lives would become happier because of Tyler's transformation. Chapter 5: Love and Reality. The collapse of the ATM. After graduating from college, Tyler, with his excellent grades, landed a good job as a programmer at a tech company, earning $8,000 a month. This was a high salary in the area. He rented a small apartment near his company and rode his bike to work every day, beginning his independent life. Mia and Noah were delighted. feeling that Tyler had finally grown up and was able to face life on his own. But it wasn't long before Tyler brought me a new trouble. One day, Tyler suddenly came home, holding a bouquet of roses and beaming with excitement. Upon entering, he gave Mia and Noah a big hug. "Mom and Dad, I have great news. I have a girlfriend. Her name is Emma, a designer at our company. She's so nice, beautiful, and gentle. We plan to get married next year." Mia and Noah were delighted and quickly asked Tyler to sit down and tell them about Emma. Tyler gushed endlessly about Emma's strengths, saying she could play the piano, cook pasta, and was very supportive of his work. He even pulled out his phone and showed them a photo of Emma. The girl in the photo had blonde hair, blue eyes, and a sweet smile. After chatting for a while, Tyler changed the subject, rubbing his hands sheepishly. "Mom and Dad, Emma and I are living in a small apartment right now. It's only 1 bedroom, and it's a bit far from Emma's workplace. We'd like to move to a bigger one, preferably a 2 bedroom, closer to both of our jobs. But I've just started working and don't have much savings. After the down payment, I won't have much left, so." Mia immediately understood what Tyler meant. He wanted her and Noah to help him pay for the rent. In a previous life, Tyler had been similarly minded. After getting a girlfriend, he wanted a bigger apartment. She emptied her savings and helped Tyler rent a luxury apartment for $2,500 a month and bought him new furniture. But Tyler and Emma didn't appreciate it. Instead, they took it for granted. They often asked her for money to buy all kinds of things, such as the latest bags and expensive perfumes, and even asked her to help pay the utility bills. "Tyler, your dad and I have been house hunting lately," Mia said calmly. "Our current apartment is a bit small, and we're looking for a small house with a yard so we can get a dog and plant some flowers. All our money is going towards the down payment and renovations. So we don't have any extra to help you rent an apartment." Tyler's smile instantly faded. He looked at Mia in disbelief, his eyes filled with disappointment. "Mom, what are you talking about? How could you do this? I finally got a girlfriend, and I want to give her a better life, and you won't even help me?" Emma knew I was going to tell you about this, and she even made cookies for me to bring over, saying she wants to spend time with you. "It's not that I don't want to help you, but we really don't have any extra money," Mia said. "Your dad and I have worked hard all our lives, and we want a comfortable place to live in and enjoy our retirement. You have a job now, making $8,000 a month, which is more than enough to cover your own rent. If a 2-bedroom apartment is too expensive, you can rent a 1-bedroom first or talk to Emma. Let's save money together, and once we have enough, we can move to a bigger house." That's how young people in America make their way through life, improving their lives step by step through their own hard work, rather than constantly asking their parents for things. "But I just started working and I have student loans to pay off, so I don't have much left each month," Tyler said, his voice rising a few notches, almost crying. Emma's colleagues all live in big apartments, and she wants a comfortable place, too. If I can't satisfy her, she might break up with me. "Mom, just help me this once, and I'll definitely pay you back." Relationships aren't sustained by material things, Tyler, Noah said, putting down his newspaper. If I truly loved you, I wouldn't break up with you just because you can't afford a big apartment right now. Besides, you're still young. If you work hard, you'll definitely earn more money and be able to buy your own place. When I was your age, your mom and I lived in an even smaller apartment than yours now, one bedroom, no living room, yet we were still very happy. What's important is working together, not relying on your parents' money to make ends meet. Tyler still refused to accept this reality. He felt his parents simply didn't want to help him, that they didn't love him anymore. He stood up angrily, threw the roses in his hand to the ground, and shouted, "You're so stingy. I don't care. You have to help me rent an apartment, or I won't recognize you as my parents." With that, Tyler turned and ran out of the house, slamming the door so hard that the pictures on the wall shook. Mia looked at Tyler's back and shook her head helplessly. She knew Tyler hadn't completely gotten over his big baby mentality and still hoped his parents would provide for him. But she wouldn't compromise again, as she had in her previous life. She wanted to make Tyler understand that his parents weren't his cash machines. He had to strive for the life he wanted. This was the law of survival in American society, and it was the lesson she, as a mother, had to teach him. For the next few days, Tyler didn't come home, nor did he call Mia or Noah. Mia was a little worried and wanted to call Tyler to check on him, but Noah stopped her. "Don't worry, he's grown up and should learn to handle his own problems. If we give in now and help him, he'll still rely on us in the future." Mia thought about it and felt that Noah was right. She and Noah continued house hunting and finally found a satisfactory small house with a small yard, close to Noah's repair shop. They put down the down payment and began preparing for the renovations. Their days were busy and fulfilling. A week later, Tyler suddenly returned. His eyes were red, and he looked haggard. His hair was disheveled, and his face was no longer filled with the excitement and pride he had previously possessed, replaced only by loss and regret. "Mom and Dad, Emma and I broke up." Tyler's voice was low, like a mosquito's hum. Mia and Noah were stunned for a moment. Then they understood what was going on. Mia walked over and gently patted Tyler's shoulder, saying gently, "Don't be too sad. Relationships can't be forced. If Emma really broke up with you because you can't afford a big apartment, it means she doesn't really love you. Even if you two stay together, there will be a lot of conflicts in the future." Tyler looked up at Mia, tears streaming down his face. "Mom, I was wrong. I shouldn't have always relied on you for help, and I shouldn't have treated love as a material exchange. Emma said she broke up with me because she felt I was too dependent on my parents, irresponsible, and not someone she could rely on. She also said she wanted a partner who would work hard and strive with her, not a mama's boy who only asked his parents for money." Mia felt a pang of pain at Tyler's regretful expression. She pulled Tyler to a seat and gave him a glass of warm water. "It's okay. It's okay to admit you were wrong. People always grow up after experiencing certain things. You're still young and have many opportunities. As long as you work hard, learn to be independent, and take responsibility, you'll definitely meet someone who's right for you, a girl who values you as a person, not material things." "Yes," Tyler nodded, wiped his tears, and said seriously, "Mom, I'll never ask you for money again. I'll work hard, pay off my student loans, and then save up to buy a house of my own. When I make enough money, I'll help you decorate your new place and buy you the furniture you like." Mia smiled happily. "Mom believes you can do it. By the way, our new house has a small yard. Can you help us design it and plant some flowers and plants that you like?" Tyler's eyes lit up, and he quickly asked, "Really? I can help you design the yard." "Of course. Mia said with a smile. Didn't you study computer science? You should be good at design. Tyler, he smiled sheepishly. Although I'm studying computer science. I also loved drawing when I was a kid. Maybe I can help. That afternoon, Mia and Noah took Tyler to see their new house. It was a small, white, single-family home with a medium-sized yard and an apple tree. Tyler looked at the beautiful house with a mixture of envy and guilt. He knew his parents had been able to afford such a nice house because they had worked hard and built a life for themselves, while he had always relied on them and always caused them trouble. Mom and Dad, this house is beautiful, Tyler said sincerely. We could plant some roses and sunflowers in the yard and build a little swing. You can enjoy the sun and coffee in the yard. I can come over on weekends to help you tidy up the yard and water the flowers. Mia and Noah looked at each other and smiled with relief. They knew Tyler had truly grown up this time, truly learned to understand his parents and take responsibility. And their lives will become happier and more fulfilling because of Tyler's changes. Chapter 6: The Rewards of Growth, Leaky Pipes, and Warm Apple Pie. Since breaking up with Emma, Tyler has become a different person. No longer impetuous and vain, he's become down-to-earth and hardworking. Besides working diligently every day, he uses his spare time to learn new programming skills and improve his abilities. He's also given up gaming and drinking, dedicating more time to self-improvement, working out at the gym, reading at the library, and volunteering in the community. On weekends, he often visits Mia and Noah, helping them with chores like cleaning, repairing appliances, and gardening. Sometimes, he buys them things they like lilies for Mia and beer for Noah, and even brings them homemade treats. He's enrolled in a baking class and learned how to make cookies and cakes. Mia and Noah are delighted, feeling that Tyler has finally become a sensible and responsible child. Their lives, thanks to Tyler's company, became warmer and happier. That day, Tyler went home to visit Mia and Noah as usual. As soon as he entered, he heard a dripping sound coming from the bathroom. He put down his fruit basket and went inside. He saw a leaking pipe. Water had pooled on the floor, soaking even his slippers. Mom and Dad, the bathroom pipe is leaking. Let me fix it, Tyler said, rolling up his sleeves and examining the leak. Mia and Noah hurried over. Noah frowned. This pipe is years old and should have been replaced long ago. I was going to have a plumber come tomorrow, but they said it would cost $200. Since you're back, I'll excuse you. It's not a big deal. I can handle this little thing, Tyler said with a smile. He fetched a toolbox from the garage, pulled out a wrench, screwdriver, duct tape, and other tools, and began repairing the pipe. Having never done plumbing before, he could only slowly learn by following the tutorial on his phone. Mia stood nearby, feeling warm at the sight of Tyler's dedication. Before, Tyler couldn't even change a light bulb. Whenever something broke at home, he'd just yell, "Mom, it's broken." Get someone to fix it. Now, he's not only learned to live independently, but can also help his parents solve their own problems. Tyler worked for about an hour, finally fixing the leaking pipe. He turned on the faucet and tested it. The water was no longer leaking. He wiped the sweat from his forehead and smiled contentedly. Okay, Mom and Dad, the pipe stopped leaking. If anything breaks next time, just call me and I'll fix it. You don't have to call a plumber, and it'll save you a lot of money. Noah patted Tyler on the shoulder and said gratifiedly, "Good boy, you're getting more and more capable." You're much better than I was back then. When I was your age, I couldn't even use a wrench. In the evening, Mia prepared dinner. She pulled chicken, vegetables, and fruit from the refrigerator, planning to make roast chicken and a vegetable salad. Tyler walked into the kitchen and said to Mia, "Mom, I'll cook today while you and Dad take a break. I recently learned how to make apple pie in baking class, and I wanted to make it for you guys." Mia looked at Tyler in surprise. "You can make apple pie? I remember you couldn't even beat an egg before." Tyler smiled and nodded. "Yeah, I learned in baking class, and the teacher said I'm pretty good. Don't we have an apple tree in our yard? I picked some apples, perfect for apple pie." Mia felt a warm feeling in her heart. She remembered how she used to love apple pie, especially the sweet and delicious one made by Noah's mom. But since Noah's mom passed away, she rarely had it. She was surprised that Tyler remembered her love and even went out of his way to learn how to make apple pie. Tyler took the flour, butter, sugar, and apples from the refrigerator and began to make apple pie. He first peeled and cored the apples, cut them into small pieces, and salted them with sugar and cinnamon. Then he mixed flour, butter, and sugar, kneaded the dough, and rolled it into a pie crust. Finally, he placed the salted apples in the pie crust, covered it with another layer of pie crust, crimped the edges with a fork, and baked it in the oven. Although his movements were clumsy, and he occasionally made mistakes rolling the dough too thick, cutting the apples too large, he was very dedicated. Mia and Noah sat in the living room, watching Tyler busy in the kitchen and listening to the hum of the oven. Their faces filled with happy smiles. Soon, the aroma of sweet apples mixed with the fragrance of cinnamon filled the house. Tyler took the finished apple pie out, the golden crust still steaming, and it looked delicious. "Mom and Dad, come try my apple pie and see if it's good," Tyler said eagerly as he brought it to the table. Mia and Noah picked up their forks, cut a small piece of apple pie, and shoved it into their mouths. The crust was crispy, the apples sweet, and hinted at cinnamon, almost exactly like Noah's mom's. "Delicious! So delicious!" Mia exclaimed happily. "Tyler, I didn't expect your apple pie to be so good. Even better than the ones sold in the supermarket." Noah nodded, still chewing on his pie, and mumbled, "Yeah, it's better than my mom's." "From now on, you'll be in charge of our desserts," Tyler smiled proudly. "As long as you like it. I'll come over often. I've also learned how to make chocolate cake and blueberry muffins. And I'll make them for you next time." At the dinner table, the family happily ate apple pie and chatted. Tyler told Mia and Noah about his work, explaining that he had recently been involved in an important project and that his boss valued him and suggested a possible promotion and raise. Mia and Noah were delighted for him. "Mom and Dad, when I get a promotion and a raise, I'll take you on a trip," Tyler said earnestly. "You always gave up your travel plans for me before. Now that I'm grown up and earning my own living, I want to take you to see the Alaskan aurora and the beaches of Hawaii, so you can enjoy life to the fullest." Mia's eyes welled up. She remembered how in her past life, she had devoted her entire life to Tyler, never living a single day for herself. In this life, thanks to her transformation, Tyler had become sensible and filial, even thinking of taking her and Noah on a trip to see the aurora she and Noah had longed for 10 years. She felt that all her perseverance and hard work had been worth it. "Okay, we'll be waiting for your good news," Mia said with a smile, wiping away the tears. After dinner, Tyler took the initiative to clear the table and help Mia wash the dishes. Then, he sat on the sofa and watched TV with Mia and Noah for a while. They were watching an old movie called Forrest Gump, Mia's favorite. When they saw the clip of Forrest Gump traveling across America, Tyler smiled and said, "When we go to Alaska to see the Aurora Borealis, we can do the same and visit more places." Mia and Noah both smiled. They knew that Tyler had truly grown up, becoming a responsible and filial child. And their lives would become happier and more fulfilled because of Tyler's filial piety and company. On ship. Chapter 7. A 60-year-old surprise, a fully paid small house, and a promise to protect time flies, and Mia is almost 60. Over the years, Tyler's career has flourished, rising from an ordinary programmer to the company's technical director, with a monthly salary of $15,000 and stock options. Not only has he achieved success at work, but he has also met the perfect match for his colleague Lisa. Lisa is a gentle, kind, and independent woman with brown hair and dark eyes. She is a second-generation Chinese American. She values Tyler's character and hard work above all else. Like Tyler, she earned her college education through hard work and, after graduation, worked diligently to pay off her student loans. Since they got together, Tyler has become more mature and stable. They work hard together, save money together, and plan for the future together. Their relationship is truly wonderful. A few days before Mia's 60th birthday, Tyler suddenly called her and said mysteriously, "Mom, I have a big surprise for you on your birthday. You must wait for me at home and don't leave." Curious, Mia asked Tyler what the surprise was, but he wouldn't tell her, saying she'd find out on her birthday and asking her to dress nicely. On Mia's birthday, Mia and Noah woke up early. Mia wore the blue dress Noah had given her the previous year and put on some light makeup. Noah looked sharp in his favorite suit. They prepared a birthday dinner at home, their hearts full of anticipation. A little after 10 in the morning, the doorbell rang. Mia ran to open it and saw Tyler and Lisa standing there, holding a large gift box. Tyler was wearing a suit, Lisa a pink dress, and they looked a perfect match. "Happy birthday, Mom and Dad," Tyler and Lisa said in unison, handing the gift box to Mia. Mia took the gift box, feeling it was a bit heavy. She opened it and found a set of keys and a house sale contract inside. She looked at Tyler in surprise. "Tyler, this is..." "Mom, this is the house Lisa and I bought for you," Tyler said with a smile. "It's a small single-family house with a yard. It's right near our house. The location is great. And it's close to the park. You can plant flowers and grass in the yard. And go for a walk in the park in the morning." Mia and Noah were stunned. They hadn't expected Tyler to buy them a house. Noah took the house sale contract and looked at it. It was in Mia and Noah's names, and it was paid in full. The amount listed was $350,000, a huge sum for them. "Tyler, this is too expensive. We can't have it," Mia said quickly, pushing the keys and contract back to Tyler. "You and Lisa have only been married for a short time. You'll have children to raise and many other expenses. How could you spend so much money on a house for us? Our current house is great, we don't need to move. Mom and Dad, this is a little gift from Lisa and me," Tyler said seriously, pushing the keys and contract back. "You've given so much for me over the years. I used to be naive and always caused you trouble and worry. Now that I'm able, I want to give you the best life possible, so you can enjoy your old age. Lisa and I saved up together to buy this house. We agreed long ago to give it to you on your 60th birthday. Lisa is very supportive. She says that being filial to your parents is the most important thing. Lisa smiled and said, Mom and Dad, just accept it. Tyler, he often told me you gave up so much for him. He also said that when they were little, you wanted to take him to see the Northern Lights, but couldn't because of him. The life we have today is also inseparable from your education and support. Our greatest wish is for you to live a happy and fulfilling life. Mia looked at Tyler and Lisa's sincere eyes, her heart filled with emotion. She knew this house was more than just a gift. It was Tyler's love and reward for her and Noah's reward for their upbringing, their perseverance and dedication over the years. She couldn't hold back any longer. Tears streaming down her face, glistening on the key. Okay, we'll take it, thank you, my dear children, Mia said, choking back tears, and she hugged Tyler and Lisa. Noah was so moved he was speechless. He patted Tyler on the shoulder. His voice a little hoarse. Good boy, it's worth raising you. From now on, we'll be neighbors and can eat together often. At noon, Tyler and Lisa took Mia and Noah to see their new house. It was a small, light gray, single-family house with a large yard featuring several fruit trees and a small garden filled with a variety of flowers and plants. The interior was also very warm, with a spacious and bright living room, a comfortable and tidy bedroom, and a dedicated study for Mia and Noah to read and write. What surprised Mia the most was that there was a small swing in the yard, with a table and 2 chairs next to it, perfect for sunbathing and drinking coffee. Mom and Dad, you can plant your favorite flowers in the yard, like roses and lilies, Tyler said, pointing to the open space. I've also kept some gardening tools in the garage, so you can use them whenever you want. Oh, and there's a small vegetable garden behind the house where you can grow some vegetables, like tomatoes and cucumbers. Homegrown vegetables are healthier. Mia and Noah looked at the beautiful house, their hearts filled with happiness. They had never imagined that at the age of 60, they would still live in such a nice house and have such a filial son and daughter-in-law. Mia walked into the yard, touched the rope of the swing, and couldn't help but burst into tears again. It was her favorite thing as a child, and she was surprised that Tyler still remembered it. Mom and Dad, you can live here from now on, Tyler said. The environment here is great, the air is fresh, and it's perfect for retirement. Lisa and I also bought a house nearby, just a 10-minute walk. We can come visit you often, chat, and have meals with you. Great, Mia said happily. From now on, our family can be together more often. That evening, Tyler and Lisa threw a simple but warm birthday party for Mia in their new house. They invited Noah's sister and her family, as well as Mrs. Carter, who had moved to a nearby retirement community and had come specially after hearing the news. Tyler bought a large birthday cake with Happy 60th Birthday, Mom written on it, and made many of Mia's favorite dishes, such as roast chicken, apple pie, and vegetable salad. At the dinner table, the family happily ate and chatted. Mrs. Carter took Mia's hand and said with a smile, Mia, you're so lucky to have such a filial son. I still remember Tyler walking the dog when he was little. I never thought he'd become so successful now. Mia nodded with a smile. Yes, it's all thanks to his own hard work. Tyler smiled sheepishly. Actually, my current situation is all thanks to Mom and Dad. If Mom hadn't let me take responsibility back then, I might still be a mama's boy, relying solely on my parents. Everyone laughed, and the living room was filled with laughter. As she blew out the candles, Mia closed her eyes and silently made a wish for her and Noah to live long and healthy lives, for Tyler and Lisa to be happy forever, for their family to be together happily like this forever, and hopefully for them to see the Alaskan roar soon. After making her wish, Mia blew out the candles. Tyler and Lisa sang happy birthday together, and Noah and Mrs. Carter joined in. The sound of singing echoed through the house, filled with happiness and warmth. After the birthday party, Tyler and Lisa stayed to help Mia and Noah pack up. Tyler suddenly said to Mia and Noah, "Mom and Dad, I have something to tell you. I've applied for remote work from my company, so I can work from home." Mia and Noah were surprised. "Why did you apply for remote work? You're doing well at the company and the salary is good. I want to spend more time with you," Tyler said seriously. "I used to be so busy with work that I had little time for you. Now that you're older, you need someone to take care of you. Working from home means I can visit you often and help you with things I can do, like fixing the plumbing or planting flowers. And Lisa supports my decision. She's also planning to apply for remote work." Mia looked at Tyler, her heart filled with emotion. She knew Tyler had truly grown up, truly learned to respect his parents and care for them. She choked up and said, Okay, it's good to be back. From now on, our family can be together every day, and we can even go see the Aurora together." Noah nodded. "Yes, it's good to be back. Being together as a family is more important than anything else." Tyler looked at Mia and Noah's happy smiles, and his heart was filled with satisfaction. He knew that in the past, he had been so naive and had caused his parents so much worry. Now, he finally had the ability to repay his parents. He wanted to ensure that they lived a happy and joyful life in their later years, making them the happiest people in the world. Chapter 8: The Perfection of the Winter Solstice. Inherited warmth and reborn happiness. After applying for remote work, Tyler and Lisa moved into a house near Mia and Noah's. Every day after get off work, they would visit Mia and Noah's home, eat and chat with them, and sometimes plant flowers together in the yard or walk their dog. Mia and Noah had a golden retriever named Max, which Tyler had bought them specifically, saying it would keep you company. The winter solstice arrived in the blink of an eye. Although the winter solstice isn't a traditional holiday in the United States, Lisa's family does observe it, eating dumplings and glutinous rice balls, symbolizing reunion and warmth. Mia woke early in the morning and went to the supermarket with Lisa to buy the ingredients for making dumplings: pork, cabbage, flour, seasoning for the filling, and some fruit and snacks. Back home, the family got busy. Mia was in charge of making the dumpling filling. Following Lisa's instructions, she minced the pork and mixed it with the bok choy, minced ginger, and chopped green onions. She then added salt, soy sauce, sesame oil, and other seasonings, stirring thoroughly. Noah kneaded the dough. His strength allowed him to do so quickly and effectively. Tyler and Lisa were in charge of wrapping the dumplings. Tyler's skill had improved significantly, and he could wrap the dumplings quickly and beautifully, creating all sorts of beautiful patterns. Although it was Lisa's first time making dumplings, she quickly mastered the technique under Mia's guidance. While her dumplings weren't as beautiful as Tyler's, they were still quite presentable. In the kitchen, the family was busy and happy. Max lay at the kitchen door, wagging his tail as he watched them, occasionally purring, as if to say, "I want to help too." Mom, your dumpling filling is still as delicious as ever, Tyler said as he made dumplings. When I was little, I loved your dumplings the most. I could always eat a big bowl. Back then, you said you'd teach me how to make dumplings when I grew up. I never thought I'd actually learn now. Mia smiled and said, when you were little, you always pestered me to make dumplings for you, sometimes twice a day. One time, you even smeared the filling on your face like a little cat, making your dad laugh. Noah laughed too. Yeah, I still remember that. Back then, you said you'd marry a wife who could make dumplings. I never thought you'd actually find one. Lisa smiled sheepishly. Actually, I just learned it not long ago either. Mom taught me so well. We can make dumplings together often. And we can even teach Max to help even if he'll probably just mess around. Everyone laughed. And the kitchen was filled with laughter. In no time, many dumplings were made. Mia put the dumplings in the pot to cook, and soon the kitchen was filled with the aroma of dumplings. Max, sensing the scent, ran to the kitchen door, wagging his tail and barking, as if to say, "Hurry, give me some." When the dumplings were done, the family gathered around the dining table and began to eat. Mia picked up a dumpling and put it in her mouth. It tasted delicious, warm, and tasty. She looked at Tyler and Lisa sitting across from her, Noah beside her, and Max lying at her feet, and her heart was filled with happiness. Time flies. Tyler's grown up and married, Mia said with emotion. I remember when Tyler was just 1 month old, so tiny and soft. When I held him, I worried I wouldn't be able to take care of him. Now, it seems like just yesterday. Noah also said with emotion, yes, time waits for no one. We're getting older, but thankfully, Tyler has grown up, become sensible, and is still so filial to us. We can rest assured now. Tyler looked at Mia and Noah and said seriously, Mom and Dad, don't worry about me. I'm grown up now and can take care of myself and you. Christmas is next month, and I've already booked flights and a hotel to Alaska. Let's go see the aurora together and fulfill your long-cherished wish. Mia and Noah were stunned. Then their faces lit up with delighted smiles. Mia excitedly grabbed Tyler's hand. Really? We can really see the northern lights. Of course it's true, Tyler said with a smile. Lisa and I have arranged everything. We can spend a week in Alaska. Besides seeing the northern lights, we can also go skiing, soak in hot springs, and have a blast. Mia's tears flowed again, this time tears of joy. She remembered her past life, when she died alone in a nursing home, without family by her side, and without the chance to see the northern lights. In this life, she not only had a filial son and daughter-in-law, but was also about to realize a wish she and Noah had longed for 10 years. She felt that her life had finally come full circle. Great, that's great, Mia said excitedly. I'll pack now. When are we leaving? After Christmas, Lisa said with a smile. We can even celebrate New Year's in Alaska and count down to the new year together. After eating dumplings, Tyler and Lisa helped Mia and Noah clear the table, then sat on the sofa and watched TV with them for a while. Lisa suddenly remembered something and said to Mia, Mom, I have something to tell you. I'm 2 months pregnant. Mia and Noah were stunned. Then their faces lit up with delighted smiles. Mia excitedly grabbed Lisa's hand. Really? That's great. I'm going to be a grandmother. Noah, you're going to be a grandfather. Noah said happily, yes, that's great. We're finally going to have a grandson. Max, you're going to be a big brother too. Max seemed to understand, wagging his tail and running around the living room, barking. Tyler smiled and said, Mom and Dad, you'll have a grandchild to play with, and your lives will be more lively. When the baby is born, we can take him to see the Northern Lights together and tell him it's our family deal. Mia nodded, tears streaming down her face again. She leaned on Noah's shoulder, a happy smile on her face. Noah, don't you think we're very lucky in this life? Noah squeezed Mia's hand tightly and smiled. Yes, we are. We met you. We had Tyler. And now we're going to have a grandson. Our life is truly blessed. Mia closed her eyes, taking in the happiness. She knew that all this happiness stemmed from her rebirth, from her decision to stop doting on Tyler, stop being his lifelong supporter, and let him learn to be independent and responsible. It was because of her change that Tyler became who he is today, and this happy, complete family they have become. Outside the window, the night deepened, and the moonlight cast a particularly warm glow on the swing in the yard. Mia knew her happy life would continue, and would only get better and better. Next month, she would go to Alaska with Noah, Tyler, and Lisa to see the Northern Lights, a dream she and Noah had longed for 10 years. Finally coming true.